Today we're going to read Horrid Henry. Horrid Henry's Raid. You're such a pig, Susan. No, I'm not. You're the pig. You are, squealed Moody Margaret. You are, squealed Sarah Susan. Oink, oink. All was not well at Moody Margaret's secret club. Sarah Susan and Moody Margaret glared at each other inside the secret club tent. Moody Margaret waved the empty biscuit tin in Susan's sour face. Someone ate all the biscuits, said Moody Margaret, and it wasn't me. Well, it wasn't me, said Susan. Liar, liar. Margaret stuck out her tongue at Susan. Susan stuck out her tongue at Margaret. Margaret yanked Susan's hair. Ow! You horrible meanie, shrieked out Susan. I hate you. She yanked Margaret's hair. Ow! Screeched Moody Margaret. How dare you? They scowled at each other. Wait a minute, said Margaret. You don't think... Not a million miles away, sitting in a throne inside the Purple Hand fort, hidden behind prickly bushes, Horrid Henry wiped a few biscuit crumbs from his mouth and burped. Oh boy, nothing beat the taste of an arch enemy's biscuits. The branches parted. Password, hissed Horrid Henry. Smelly toads. Enter, said Henry. The sentry entered and gave the secret handshake. Henry, why, began Perfect Peter. Call me by my title, worm. Sorry, Henry. I mean Lord High Excellent Majesty of the Purple Hand. That's better, said Henry. He waved his hand and pointed at the ground. Be seated, worm. Why am I worm and you're Lord High Excellent Majesty? Because I'm the leader, said Henry. I want a better title, said Peter. All right, said the Lord High Excellent Majesty. You can be Lord Worm. Peter considered. What about Lord High Worm? Okay, said Henry. Then he froze. Worm! Footsteps! Perfect Peter peeked through the leaves. Enemies approaching, he warned. Pounding feet paused outside the entrance. Password, said Horrid Henry. Dog poo breath, said Margaret, bursting in. Sarah Susan followed. That's not the password, said Henry. You can't come in, squealed the sentry, a little late. You've been stealing the secret club biscuits, said Moody Margaret. Yeah, Henry, said Susan. Horrid Henry scratched and yawned. Prove it. Moody Margaret pointed to all the crumbs lying on the dirt floor. Where did all those crumbs come from then? Biscuits, said Henry. So you admit it, squeaked Margaret. Purple Hand biscuits, said Henry. He pointed to the Purple Hand skull and crossbone biscuit tin. Liar, liar, pants on fire, said Margaret. Horrid Henry fell to the floor and started rolling around. Oh, my pants are on fire. I'm burning. Call the fire brigade, shouted Henry. Perfect Peter dashed off. Mom, he howled. Henry's pants are on fire. Margaret and Susan made a hasty retreat. Horrid Henry stopped rolling and howled with laughter. The Purple Hand rules, he crackled. We'll get you for this, Henry, said Margaret. Yeah, said Henry. You didn't really steal their biscuits, did you? Asked Loy High Worm the following day. As if, said Horrid Henry. Now, get back to your guard duty. Our enemies may be planning a revenge attack. Why do I always have to be the guard, said Peter. It's not fair. Whose club is this? Said Henry fiercely. Peter's lip began to tremble. Yours, muttered Peter. So, if you want to stay as a temporary member, you have to do what I say, said Henry. Okay, said Peter. And remember, one day, if you're very good, you'll be promoted from junior sentry to chief sentry, said Henry. Oh, said Peter, brightening. Business settled, Horrid Henry reached for the biscuit tin. He'd saved 5 yummy chocolate fudge chewies for today. Henry picked up the tin and stopped. Why wasn't it rattling? He shook it. Silence. Horrid Henry ripped off the lid and shrieked. The purple hand biscuit tin was empty, except for one thing. A dagger drawn on a piece of paper. The dastardly mark of Margaret's secret club. Well, he'd show them who ruled. Worm, he shrieked. Get in here. Peter entered. We've been raided, screamed Henry. You're fired. Wailed Peter. Good work, Susan, said the leader of the secret club, her face covered in chocolate. I don't see why you got 3 biscuits and I got 2 when I was the one who sneaked in and stole them, said Susan sourly. Tribute to your leader, said Moody Margaret. I still don't think it's fair, muttered Susan. Tough, said Margaret. Now, let's hear the spy report. Na 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 na, screeched a voice from outside. Susan and Margaret dashed out of the secret club tent. They were too late. There was Henry prancing off, waving the secret club banner he'd stolen. Give that back, Henry, screamed Margaret. Make me, said Henry. Susan chased him. Henry darted. Margaret chased him. Henry dodged. Come and get me, taunted Henry. All right, said Margaret. She walked towards him, then suddenly jumped over the wall into Henry's garden and ran to the Purple Hand fort. Hey, get away from there, shouted Henry, chasing after her. Where was that useless sentry when you needed him? Margaret nabbed Henry's skull and crossbone flag and darted off. The 2 leaders faced each other. Give me my flag, ordered Henry. Give me my flag, ordered Margaret. You first, said Henry. You first, said Margaret. Neither moved. Okay, on the count of 3, we'll throw them at each other, said Margaret. 1, 2, 3, throw. Margaret held onto Henry's flag. Henry held onto Margaret's flag. Several moments passed. Cheater, said Margaret. Cheater, said Henry. I don't know about you, but I have important spy work to get on with, said Margaret. So, said Henry, get on with it. No one's stopping you. Drop my flag, Henry, said Margaret. No, said Henry. Fine, said Margaret. Susan, bring me the scissors. Susan ran off. Peter, shouted Henry. Worm Lord, high worm. Peter stuck his head out the upstairs window. Peter, fetch the scissors, quick, ordered Henry. No, said Peter, you fired me, remember? And he slammed the window shut. You're dead, Peter, shouted Henry. Sarah Susan came back with the scissors and gave them to Margaret. Margaret held the scissors to Henry's flag. Henry didn't budge. She wouldn't dare. Snip. Moody Margaret cut off the corner of Henry's flag. She held the scissors poised to make another cut. Horrid Henry had spent hours painting his beautiful flag. He knew when he was beat. Stop, shrieked Henry. He dropped Margaret's flag. Margaret dropped his flag. Slowly they inched towards each other, then dashed to grab their own flag. Truce, said Moody Margaret, beaming. Truce, said Horrid Henry, scowling. I'll get you for this, thought Horrid Henry. No one touches the flag and lives. Horrid Henry watched and waited until it was dark, and he heard the plinky plonk sound of Moody Margaret practicing her piano. The coast was clear. Horrid Henry sneaked outside, jumped over the wall, and darted inside the secret club tent. Swoop! He swept up the secret club pencils and secret code book. Snatch! He snaffed the secret club stall. Grab! He bagged the secret club biscuit tin. Was there anything? No. Scoop! He snatched the secret club motto, down with boys. Pounce! He pinched the secret club carpet. Horrid Henry looked around. The secret club tent was bare, except for... Henry considered. Should he? Yeah. Whisk! The secret club tent collapsed. Horrid Henry gathered it into his arms with the rest of his spoils. Huffing and puffing, gasping and panting, Horrid Henry staggered off over the wall, laden with the secret club. Raiding was hot, heavy work, but a pirate had to do his duty. Wouldn't all this booty look great decorating his fort? A rug on the floor, an extra biscuit tin, a repainted motto, down with girls. Yes, the Purple Hand Fort would have to be renamed the Purple Hand Palace. Speaking of which, where was the Purple Hand Fort? Horrid Henry looked about wildly for the fort's entrance. It was gone. He searched for the Purple Hand Throne. It was gone. And the Purple Hand Biscuit Tin. Gone. There was a rustling sound in the shadows. Horrid Henry turned and saw a strange sight. There was the Purple Hand Fort leaning against the shed. What? Suddenly the fort started moving. Slowly, jerkily, the fort wobbled across the lawn towards the wall on its 4 new stumpy legs. Horrid Henry was livid. How dare someone try to nick his fort? This was an outrage. What in the woods was the world coming to when people just sneaked into your garden and made off with your thought? Well, no way. Horrid Henry let out a pirate roar. Rah! Roared Horrid Henry. Ah! Shrieked the fort. Crash! The Purple Hand Fort fell to the ground. The raiders ran off, squabbling. I told you to hurry, you lazy lump. You're the lazy lump. Victory! Horrid Henry climbed to the top of his fort and grabbed his banner. Waving it proudly, he chanted his victory chant. Na 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 na.